Hi, good morning. So we're on page 84 and we're coming into the long stretch series. Long stretch series has 4 exercises and you need to know them in this order. It is down, up, long, and elephant. So you can kind of remember it if you play with it a little bit. It's down, it's up, it's long, and then it's elephant. So you want to know those 4 in that order. That is a test question. And one of the easiest ways to remember this exercise is that you're down on your knees when you do this. So the next one is the up, but you're in the down now. So here we go. Our setup for this is a red and a blue or a red and a yellow. And for the whole series, it's like that. So when you go to cue your clients, you can just say a red and a blue or a yellow. And hopefully by then they'll know what they're doing. If not, that's okay too. You'll know what you're doing. So we're gonna go from there, and it's gonna depend on the foot bar height as well. So you want to start in a low position or a medium position depending on your client's height. Now Shelly, Shelly is how tall?
5'3".
5'3". So we're gonna stay in the medium position. If I'd had Kelsey here, who's almost like she's 6 something, we would definitely lower that bar down for her to give her a little more space. But Shelly we're good on this medium position in the middle. Now this series is also, it's pretty wristy. So you wanna be careful with your client. We still wanna keep our hands on the bar, and you wanna try and think about kind of having a little more of a forward grip with your thumbs, with your fingers on top. Go ahead and shift your weight forward for me. So if she's gonna try and straighten out her wrists a little bit, kind of fold them forward, that can be a little bit scary for her. Let me fix this so you can see her wrists just a little bit better. There we go. Oh, and Fred, there we go. We got the skeleton in the back. So she's got her wrists just a little bit forward like that. So when she brings when we get into this series and her weight is shifting forward, that might feel intimidating, like she might slip off the bar. So we went ahead and put some stickies on as well. And so that's just a nice option for your client to make sure that they have the option of those stickies. So we're gonna go ahead and get a little bit more into this exercise. So we are on a red and a yellow because that feels good to us today. And our muscular focus and the muscles that we're going to use in this is it's core work, it's scapular and trunk stabilizer. So we're definitely stabilizing through the back muscles. And there's a big focus on dropping the shoulder blades down towards her back pockets, right? There's no shrugging. Give me a shrug. No bueno. We don't do that. So we want to make sure everything stays away. We want to drop our shoulders away from our ears and make sure we have this nice line. And we don't want to go ahead and arch too much. We're going to try and maintain some neutral, even though we're going to take ourselves into a bit of extension and try to find a stretch. The down part of this exercise is finding that stretch through the thigh and the hip, or through that hip flexor area, okay? So it's not a bend. Good, that's perfect. Yeah, so we want to find something that's a little more forward versus that bending of a hip flexor. So the other muscles that we're getting into are our spinal extensors. And so that's along the thoracic spine, right? So we're looking for these muscles along here. There might even be a little bit of palpation to make sure that they're working properly. And then of course her pelvic floor. And then so we're working on that core as well. So we're looking at that caging of the pelvic floor, the diaphragm, the obliques, the back muscles, to just kind of keep that box, the hips stacked nicely above the core there. And so we're just stabilizing through the whole trunk. Okay, we ready? Give it a shot? Okay, so we are kneeling on the carriage. The other thing that we did, what we have here is a pad for the knees. Is that in the right spot for you? You can move forward a little bit. If you're okay, give you a little bit more. Better?
Yep.
Yeah, those knee pads are money. Those are great. Okay, so we've got our thumbs with our fingers, our hands are forward, we've got our grips going. We're going to be kneeling on the carriage with our hands placed on the foot bar, shoulder width apart. Good, you were there. Your feet are in dorsiflexion. That means her toes are forward and her feet are going to be against her shoulder rest. So it's almost like she's in a runner's block. Okay, feet are dorsiflexed against the shoulder rest. Hips are pressed forward, Glutes and abs are engaged and shoulders are depressed. We inhale to prepare. Okay, so I'm going to have you start in an upright position. Good. Okay, so shoulders are going to be a little down and back, abs are going to be engaged. Good. That shoulder width apart. How do your wrists feel? Are they okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to inhale to prepare. Your spine is lifted up out of your hips as you create a slight arc of the spine and sternum, with the sternum reaching towards the ceiling. So you're looking to open up through the chest here. So this exercise is about finding that lift, shoulders down and back, opening through the chest, right? This is your Titanic, my heart will go on moment, right? So we're looking as we come in to find this big lift, and it's almost like a little smile is gonna form. Not big, just a little, because we don't wanna take it into extension, too much extension. We're still looking for a stretch through the front part of the body here. So the more of the thighs, right?
Okay.
Yep, the quads and the hip flexor area. So we're looking for that kind of stretch from the knee on up through the hip. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna inhale to prepare as our spine is lifted out of our hips, creating a slight arc of the spine with the sternum reaching towards the ceiling. Shoulders stay down and back, good. Okay, do you feel like you're in too much extension here? Or do you feel like that's good? You can bring your hips forward, does that feel good? Yeah, they're good, okay, nice. Okay, then from here, you're gonna exhale, press your carriage out, maintaining spine extension and alignment. So you're pressing the carriage all the way out. Excellent. Inhale, completely return the carriage home. Draw the navel in through the core and the lats. Good, stay there for me. So when we're gonna inhale, we wanna make sure that we're feeling nice and long, right? And then the lats, we wanna use these back muscles through the lats to help keep everything nice and strong, stable through the shoulders, everything staying down and back, chest nicely open. Good, okay, try it again. Oh, darn it. It's okay. So we want to go ahead and focus on our return. It's kind of like, it's a dynamic move that we focus on our return. So we're going to start this over again. You ready? Okay, so we're going to inhale to prepare. Your spine is lifted out of your hips. Create that slight arc of the spine with the sternum reaching towards the ceiling. Beautiful. You're going to exhale to press your carriage out. Good. Now, what we don't want to have happen is she could dump down, right? And we don't want that. She's maintaining this nice little Japanese bridge, and she's shaking a little bit. And then you're going to inhale, bring your carriage all the way in. Shoulders are going to come down and back. Pull those abs up and in. Arms stay straight. Open up through the chest. Drop those shoulders down and back, and find that nice little lift and that stretch through the front of the body. Good. How does that feel?
Good.
Try it one more time. So we're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale, send your carriage away. Nice. Exhale. Slowly bring the carriage back in, dropping those shoulders down and back. Reaching forward into a slight extension, but not a lot, right? Finding the stretch through the front of the body, and shoulders stay open, chest stays nice and open. That looks really good. How does it feel?
Good.
Good. Go ahead and sit on your heels for me. Nice work. Okay, so what are we monitoring here? So we're looking to avoid elbow or neck hyperextension. So she could hyperextend, like really lift and lift the chin. That's not good, right? She could hyperextend her elbows when she's on the foot bar. So go ahead and bring your hands to your foot bar. Good. So if you took your arms into that, like if you were holding on and you were coming in, you could really, like if they were too straight and you were a hyperextender, they would kind of
Go forward.
Yeah, they would go forward. You don't do that. We don't. But clients will. They will do that, and you'll notice it right away. It's interesting, and it's not healthy for them. They need to maintain a micro bend, so they don't do that. We're looking for hip flexion, or lack thereof. So a lot of times when people get into this extension, go ahead and bring your hands to the bar again. Good. So they'll go into it, and they'll push the carriage out, but then they'll also come into a thing where they might even just bend their knees. Like, so they'll kind of come into more of a knee bend to bring the carriage in. So go ahead and bend the knees to bring the carriage in.
Oh, like that?
Yeah, like that. Good.
Okay.
So instead of lifting the chest, having that heart will go on moment, right? That Titanic front of the ship kind of moment, they'll go ahead and just bend the knees. Well, that's a completely different exercise, right? That's not what we're doing. That's not down stretch. But you will see that. Lumbar compression or pain. So they'll start to, if they get into too much extension, so go ahead and drop your hips super forward. Good. So she could take herself into a ton of extension here, dump her belly completely forward, and then this will hurt. We don't want that. And look what happened in her shoulders and everything. That's not what, again, not what we're doing here today. That's not the exercise. The travel distance, you want to watch for the travel distance. So you're going to still keep your hands that shoulder distance apart. I want you to go ahead, bring your hips forward like we're going to go into the exercise. Go ahead and push the carriage away. Exhale, breath, good. All right, then from here, some people are going to go as far as they can. That's not this exercise either, right? So you just want to monitor how far they go. That would be getting us into a little bit more core. This is more of that stretch, not core work. Go ahead and come all the way back in again. Okay, and then the other thing you want to look at is how they grip the bar. She could have a complete death grip on the bar. She could have her thumbs hooked around. She could completely white knuckle it. We want to monitor for that and make sure that she's just got a controlled wrist, that her fingers and her thumbs are on the same side, and that she doesn't have too much breaking of the wrist or wrinkles in the wrist, to go ahead and make sure that it feels comfortable for her. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Feels good? A little bit of coming forward helps a little bit on that. Cueing. We had some really good cues here. So return, drawing the core in and up, right? So you want to feel like the core is coming, as you're bringing that carriage back in, you want to feel like it's coming in and up, right? Another good cue is hips are forward. So if I tell her to bring her hips forward, that's going to bring her into that exercise so she can do that stretch, that down stretch, and get the stretch in the lower part of her body. Cue the multifidus contracting via palpation. So I could see if these muscles along her spine were firing up a little bit, see if those were working for her, right? Shoulder blades in her back pockets. So instead of a shrug that could happen, I want to make sure that they're down and back. Lifting the sternum to the ceiling, right? So I want to be heart forward, lifting my sternum towards the ceiling, opening up those shoulders, drawing them down and back. Good. Your shoulders act as a hinge. So we're not looking for shoulders, elbows to bend in this exercise. They hinge out and they pull in. So go ahead and hinge out. Good. And they hinge back in. Nice. And shoulders still come down and back. Beautiful. Okay. And then we're pelvic floor. So pulling that pelvic floor up and in, finding that kegel, right? Squeezing that up and in. And reach the thighs down towards the springs. That's another good cue. So you're finding that opposition in this exercise. We're opening up through here, but we're lengthening down through here. And so you're reaching your thighs down as you're opening your chest up. Modifications we could make. We could place a pad or a towel under the shins or the knees, which we've done. If we didn't have a pad, we could use a towel. Neutral position or no extension, arc of the spine. So we could make sure that she doesn't really do any extension in this exercise, that she goes out in more of a neutral, so a little more of a Japanese, and maintain more of a Japanese bridge, not jumping. Don't take your hips forward too much, and then just bring yourself all the way back in, dropping those shoulders down and back. Still getting some stretch there, which actually looks really good. Yeah, nice. And then we can vary the gear bar, right? We can out, variable the gear bar, out, or carriage stopper block for height of client. So we've got the carriage stopper. If we didn't want her to go out too far, if I wanted to manage that, I could use a little stopper, pop it in one of these little holes, probably that one. Let's see how that goes. So go ahead and push the carriage out. It's going to stop you, right? So go ahead and come back in. I could take it to the next one. Go ahead. Try that. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, send your carriage away. Still a little bit of stop, but she can't go too far, especially if she had something going on, right? Where we knew the extension wasn't going to be good for her. Hold that position and then bring the carriage all the way back in, dropping those shoulders down and back, but watch that. Oh, yeah, you were getting good at this one. Well done, my dear. All right, how's it feeling? Good. Good. All right, so we're going to move on. So making sure that we've got everything. So just to reiterate, it's down on your knees, down stretch, which is, the series is down, up, long, and elephant. We've got all those things done, but we're going to go ahead and get into some of our variations. So one of our variations would be, we're going to decrease the weight. So we're going to either go to a red or a blue. I'm going to have you just take that yellow spring off. Okay, so your hands are still that shoulder width distance. right? Hips are still gonna come forward a little bit, but you still got that little Japanese bridge. Good, shoulders are gonna stay down and back. We're gonna inhale to prepare. Exhale, send your carriage away. Ooh, let me move that stopper. Good call, there we go. Right, just how we teach, right? Things happen. So you're gonna inhale to prepare, exhale, send your carriage away. Good, give me that little Japanese bridge because you're in core work, right? So you wanna pull those abs up and in, tuck that booty a little bit, good. And now keep those arms straight as you bring the carriage all the way in. Shoulders still stay down and back. Yep, there you go. Draw those shoulder blades down towards your back pockets. Good. One more time, inhale to prepare, exhale, send it away. Or actually, it's core now, so we're gonna inhale, send it away. Inhale, send it away. Go ahead. Nice work. Pull those abs up and in. Exhale, bring your carriage all the way home. Drop those shoulders down and back and open up the chest. Nice work. Go ahead and sit towards your heels. So the opposite of this would be number 2 on page 85, which is if we were to put heavier weight on, she's totally gonna load her shoulders, right? So now all of this upper body is doing the work as we send the carriage out and bring the carriage home. Yeah, we're good. We know how that's gonna feel. The next one is the third variation, which I actually kind of like this one. So it's kind of a rolling through the exercise, and it's kind of fun. So we're gonna go ahead, you're still gonna bring your hands to your foot bar, yep. And there's still that shoulder distance apart. The thumbs are with the fingers, and your feet are still against your shoulder rest. You're just still doing okay here? Yeah. Okay, we're still in dorsiflexion, life is good. But now she's kneeling with her hips over her knees. She's in a neutral spine. So yeah, so shoulders down and back a little. There you go, but not too much tucked. Good. Abs up and in. Yep, oh, beautiful, look at you go, I love it. All right, so she's sitting on her heels, maintaining her spinal alignment. She's got this really nice line from the crown of her head or the back all the way down towards that tailbone. Good, tuck your chin in just a little. You're gonna inhale to prepare. As you exhale, push the carriage out with your legs. So you're gonna push through your legs. There you go, good, okay. And then you're gonna inhale, return, maintaining your kneeling plank position, pulling your hips to the bar and lifting your chest. Good, so it's the same thing, but we're starting with our heels, our booty over our heels. Okay, so you still want to maintain that neutral spine. Good girl. Yes, excellent. And then you're going to go ahead, exhale, push the carriage out using your legs. So it's almost like you're pushing the plank. Go ahead and come back in again for me. Don't necessarily need to take it into that kind of a dolphin dive. You still want to stay strong in the upper body. So arms stay straight. Good. Chest stays lifted. Yes, good. Shoulders still stay down and back. There you go. Good. Now pull this up a little bit. There. Good. All right. So we're going to go ahead and inhale to prepare. Exhale as I want you to push the carriage away and hold that modified plank position. Yeah, there you go, good. Now from here, you're gonna inhale, returning, staying in this shape. Okay, so just like we did before, first exercise, shoulders stay down and back, abs come in and up, good, and thighs go forward, right? So you're still looking to open up the chest. It just gets a little confusing because we started on our heels. Go ahead and sit back on those heels. Good, I'm gonna try it one more time.
Okay.
So you need to just sit towards your heels. You don't sit necessarily on your heels.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good, because I can't get there. That's
I can't
good,
get
yeah.
there today.
Yeah, we have an idea for it, but it's good, yeah. Okay, so kneeling on our hips, over our knees are over our hips, right? Kneeling hips over knees, neutral spine, so abs up and in. Good, booty tucked a little bit. Sitting back towards the heels, maintaining your spinal alignment, beautiful. Inhale to prepare, good. Exhale, push the carriage out with your legs. Good, hold that neutral spine. Good, good. Now you're gonna inhale as you bring the carriage all the way in, dropping those shoulders down and back, lifting the chest. Great, nice and open, good. Getting that little bit of a thigh stretch forward. Yes, good. And then go ahead and sit back on your heels. Nice work, how do you feel?
Good.
Great model, thank you so much, yeah. So the next exercise is long stretch, in the long stretch series is up stretch. So we're gonna go ahead and do that one next. But on a new video, here we go.